Days deliberations following 7 weeks of testimony in that Manhattan courtroom. Combs facing 5 felony charges. Prosecutors claim Combs led a criminal enterprise. Attorneys for the music mogul refute that, saying that he's been the victim of overzealous prosecution. Combs pleading not guilty to all counts. Joining us now is criminal defense attorney Joseph Tully. And Joseph, we know that if convicted, he could face 15 years to life in prison. So this is a very serious case. We're just getting word right here that it seems as though there's one juror that is not in, at least in alignment with the rest of them as they're deliberating. They even sent a note to the judge saying he's being a little bit of a problem. Unclear what exactly that means, but what do you make of that?
Juries are always hard to predict. This is one thing where you do have a little bit of data that the group is singling out one person saying he's being difficult. Usually what judges do at this stage of the deliberations is they will send back the jury instruction that says it's very generic, very general. Everybody, please try to get along. Please have an open mind. Please listen to each other. And the judge will repeat that instruction and hopefully try to get the jury to deliberate more and have an open exchange of communication.
All right, because let's talk about the technical part of this. They already have an alternate who's now working as a true juror that's deliberating. When you send the jury back, you typically dismiss the alternates. Is that right?
Correct. However, so you pick a jury and it's 12 people, but then you also pick alternates, 2 to 4, in this case, probably, more. And then if somebody has to leave from the core jury, you replace them with an alternate. Then at the end of the case, you send the official 12 back, including the replacement, and the alternates are dismissed. But they're not off the case because if a person gets sick or something happens where they can't come back, the alternate is recruited to join back in on the deliberation, and the jury is instructed to restart their deliberation from scratch with the new person.
Okay, so let's talk about the possibility, because we don't know what's happening behind closed doors with the jury. We know, as you said, the judge is probably hoping that they'll get along, that they'll figure this out. But how much does this all open the door for defense attorneys to motion for a mistrial, to say, Your Honor, this is chaos? Is this really like where they're hoping this is heading?
So defense attorneys have entropy on their side. Entropy is, things fall apart. So if jury deliberations are falling apart, it does help the defense. Really, the judge has to play very, use kid gloves here. The judge can't be seen as anywhere approaching forcing the jury to go a certain way. You guys get back there and you deliberate. The judge has to say, like I said before, everybody have an open mind. Please listen to each other, that kind of thing. If the judge gets too heavy-handed, now listen, I want you to pay special attention to this law that I gave you and not this one, then that opens up the possibility for the defense to make a motion for a mistrial. So the judge has to be very, very laid back in his approach to the jury here. Otherwise, he will open the door for a motion for a mistrial.
All right. We've seen the length of this case, the prosecution putting on a very lengthy case, weeks on end. The defense deciding not to bring any witnesses. They didn't put Sean Diddy Combs on the stand either. Now we're coming up against a holiday weekend. Who is this benefiting? I mean, and how much does that influence the jury to try and quickly turn over a conviction or just an acquittal?
So I think, like I said before, entropy does help the defense. When things fall apart, it helps the defense. Having a holiday weekend come up, people want to be done with this. So the jurors are made up of human beings. They want to be done with it. At least some of them will. However, some of them want to hold out. And so it gives support to the holdout. Look, if I can make things miserable for people, they'll give up and then want to go on about their business on the holiday weekend. So it does benefit the defense, but I've seen things go either way. People can come back after a long break and do a quick conviction.
All right.
So you really can't predict anything, but generally speaking, it helps the defense.
All right, we'll wait and see what happens here as the jury. It's now in their hands, and clearly they're having issues behind closed doors as we speak right now. Joseph, thanks for the breakdown. Let's head out to Idaho right now, where the bodies of